think people have all these ideas of the inner city that it's like, oh, they're not going to respect you because you're not from there, or you're not tough, or like, oh, like you don't have this like super troubled past. But I think all of us, including the inner city, like just want someone to care.
Anyone can do this, but not everyone will.
Start with your introduction, how long you've been a missionary and where, and then your origin story.
Like Batman. But yeah, so my name's Owen Kilpatrick. I've been a missionary with Vagabond for a year and a half and some change. I'm originally from Mobile, Alabama, and have been serving here for that whole year and a half back in my hometown. In that time of college, of growing in my faith, kind of rediscovering my relationship with Jesus, I was challenged by our focus missionaries on campus that if I want to like live as a disciple of Christ, I need to go out and serve. That, to quote Annie Hall, a shark that's not moving is a shark that's going to die, and our faith is just like that. Our relationship is like that. If our relationship with God doesn't have somewhere to go, it'll die. So I was kind of in limbo my senior spring. Like I didn't really know what I wanted to do. I didn't really know what the Lord was asking of me. I just knew that I had this newfound deep love of Him. I knew that He loved me and wanted something great for me. And so I was pretty open when our Vagabond missionaries from Mobile came up to Auburn my senior spring. And by coincidence, the two people that founded our site here, I had known as a teenager in high school because they did youth ministry in the area. And so I was open enough to be like, hey, like I know them. I want to serve. I don't know if I want to be back in Mobile. I don't know if I'm cut out for inner city mission, but I'll go talk to them. And it was in talking with them that I just saw this wide open door. There was a real need for more missionaries in Mobile. And so I kind of took it to prayer. And at first I was like, Lord, like, I like to read books. I like teaching high level theology. I studied philosophy in college. I love the intellectual life of the church. Are you really calling me to do inner city mission? I suck at basketball. Like I had all these preconceived ideas of, man, like I'm not good at that. I'm don't think I'll fit in there. I don't know what that's going to look like. And as I prayed with it, especially prayed with being in Mobile, which is where I knew I would end up, the Lord just kept opening those doors. The more I brought them to Him, brought all my doubts and fears to Him, the more He kept opening up those doors and inviting me deeper and deeper. It was an easy jump to say, okay, Lord, like I don't really understand this. I don't know if I'm cut out for this, but it seems like this is where You want me. And so I ended up saying yes to mission. And I remember telling my missionary at campus in Auburn, there was two of us. One guy was going to do the summer internship, and then I had just accepted as full-time. And I remember he was like, that other guy, like, yeah, I get it, but you? You're going to be a Vagabond missionary? Like, what? And I can't lie, like, I felt the same way. But I think he was the one himself to teach me God doesn't call the equipped, He equips the called. And for me, it's in saying yes to something challenging, something difficult, that I've gotten to know the heart of Jesus, and I've gotten to grow in my trust and faith in Him. And so that's why I'm here as a Vagabond missionary. So my first week of work was summer camp, which if you ask any Vagabond missionary, that's like the craziest week that we have. So I got done with my fundraising, and then I packed everything up and met the group and went to summer camp. And at first I was really nervous because I was like, I don't know these guys. Like, I don't know how to talk to them. Like, I don't know how well they'll receive me. But honestly, what was the most shocking was just how quickly they were like, oh, Owen's like our boy. Like, it was beautiful because I went in with all these preconceived ideas of like, I'm not sure about this. Like, am I going to relate to them at all? And it was just kind of showing up and just being like, I'm here to help. Like, I'm here to love you. They were so welcoming. And we had a blast that summer at camp, that week of camp. And so I think, honestly, like that was kind of shocking. Like, I think people have all these ideas of the inner city that it's like, oh, they're not going to respect you because you're not from there, or you're not tough, or like, oh, like you don't have this like super troubled past. But I think all of us, including the inner city, like just want someone to care. And so I went in with an attitude of like, God put me here to love you. And like, that's about all I'm good for. So I think in being here and in meeting the community and coming kind of with this openness to let God do his thing and trying to get out of the way of that, I just saw like, oh, these guys aren't so different from me. Like these guys want to be loved just like me. Sure, is their like home life more difficult? Yes. Is their financial situation much harder? Yes. But they still have a heart just like mine. And it's a heart that desires someone to care, someone to love, and ultimately a God to rest in. And so I think that's kind of what I found, is that, yeah, like at the end of the day, despite all of our differences on the outside, like on the inside, we just want to be loved and held by a good and loving God. So, yeah, that's that's all I got. That's all I got, dude. I don't know what else to say. That first week of camp, and it was the moment that I'm like, oh, okay, I'm in the right place. We signed up to do like the high ropes course. And so it was this big zip lining day, a lot of like climbing up things and like zip lining super far stuff. And I mean, we're like 40 feet up in the air. Like it's a lot of heights, and all of our teens, or a good bit of them, are really afraid of heights, like horrified. And I remember one of them like built up the courage to say yes to like walking up the ladder, and I was right behind him. And so we were both crossing this like suspended bridge that it was like 40 feet off the ground. It really was. And then 40 feet off the ground, and then 250 yards across like 2 mountain peaks. So like pretty intimidating thing. And I was standing behind him, and he was just gripping the bridge. He's like, Owen, like I have to turn around. I have to turn around. Like he was so nervous, so scared. And I just remember, because somebody had done the same thing for me when I was younger. They're like, no, man, like you got this. Like, let's go forward. Like, come on, like you can do this. And I just remember like he built up the courage just to walk across that bridge and got to the platform, jumped off, went the whole way. And I was so proud of him in that moment, because he really did just like face the fear and go. And then the rest of the week, like he was so excited about that he like crossed the zip line. He was so pumped up that like he did something he was afraid to do. And so it was really humbling for me just to be a part of that, just be like, wow, like I was the one person who was there to encourage him. And so I kind of took that into the rest of my mission of like, a lot of these people, a lot of the young people that we serve, they just don't have that. Like in the way that I had adult mentors who would come in and say like, Owen, like this is hard, but you can do this, and encourage me. Like I got to step into this kid's life and just give him this little encouragement of like, just cross the bridge. And then him making that move and like knowing, oh wow, I'm capable of something more. Like I can do something even though I'm afraid to do it. That was a really humbling experience for me, and kind of helped me to realize my role in the lives of these young people. It's like to encourage them, to push them on, and teach them that like they have it in them to do these hard things. One of our teens had been coming to the underground since we opened here in Mobile. And the other missionaries had done a lot of walking with him and ministering to him. And when I got here, we clicked pretty well and spent a lot of time together. And he started coming more and more to things that we would offer. Like he started coming to Mass with us. When he wasn't in school, he started coming to daily Mass with us. Really like a kid who was super invested in what we were doing and really took to what we had to offer. And I remember just sitting and I asked him very bluntly one day, "Do you want to be baptized?" And he told me, he was like, "Owen, like I really would like to, but I'm scared that if I do get baptized, I'm gonna fall again and that it's not really gonna matter." And I just remember being so like fired up and being like, "Bro, you're gonna fail. Like, I hope you won't, you know? I hope you won't. I hope that you can just live out those baptismal graces, but like God accounts for that." And just to speak the mercy of God into a situation that it's like, look, like we don't get baptized because we're saints. We get baptized because we're sinners. And to speak that into his life and just to say like, baptism is what helps us on the journey. It's not like the period to our journey. It's really what kicks it off. And so to just like say that honestly and kind of help him to work through those issues that were keeping him from receiving God's mercy and his grace in the sacrament was really powerful. And now he's like one of our teens that's going to enter at Easter and is fired up like beyond belief. And so I think that was another really humbling moment. One, because I knew that I was capitalizing on work that our other missionaries had done in the past. And two, because like, I mean, it's awesome to be the one person to say, "Hey, look, like what you thought of God, what you preconceived about God's love for you, that's wrong. Like receive the mercy that he wants to extend to you, which is greater than anything you can do or imagine." It's changed me a lot. I think, ask anybody, you know. I think the biggest thing that I've learned, and it really did, it was a grace extended to me by God, I think on our first week of camp. I just remember being so overwhelmed by our young people because they're lively and energetic and they're not used to a lot of things. And I remember like as a leader of that trip being so overwhelmed, and I just looked to the crucifix and I was like, "Oh, I get it now." You know, I think the big thing is that like God invites us not necessarily to be successful, but to be faithful even when it hurts. And so for me, just seeing the depths of his love in the midst of our trials, in the midst of having teens not show up, in the midst of having teens treat me poorly, or in the midst of just seeing the poverty that our teens live in, God really started teaching me the depths of his mercy, that it's like in all things, in all suffering, he's there and he is loving us in it. And that we are all called to love in that same way, a selfless way. I think being a vagabond missionary really, at the end of the day, has helped stretch my heart to love more and to be more patient with the people I don't want to be patient with, to be more sensitive to the things I fail to be sensitive to, and really to look to God more when it hurts, when it stings. I learned how to drive a 15-passenger van with people screaming in the back. I learned how to rally when no one showed up. How to hold my tongue when they text me, "Oh, I'm over here," and then I pull up and they're like, "Oh, I left, by the way." Bro. Patience. I learn patience. St. Thomas Aquinas, one time he had this like beatific vision of God, like God opened the veil to him and he saw heaven, and he wanted to burn all of his work because he said it compared nothing to the glory of God. And all the brothers had to be like, no, like keep the work. But he's like, it's all straw. It's all straw. And I think like oftentimes we get this idea that like we have to be qualified for the work of God, or that like, man, I can't do this because I'm lacking this skill or like whatever. And to some degree, like, you know, maybe that's a little true. But what being on mission has taught me is that, I said it before, I'll say it again, like God's not inviting me to be successful. He's inviting me to be faithful. And so if that's on your heart, like to serve God and his young people in the inner city, trust him that he's going to help you do that. If he's made the invitation to you, get out of your own way, get out of his way, honestly, like, and just say yes, because it's God ultimately that does this work. It's him that gives us the heart to love. And that's not something that we can just like come up with. Without God, this work doesn't make much sense. But with him, it's powerful. And to serve him in the work, to quote this book I really love, to serve God is to reign. And so when we serve God in the work, whether or not we feel qualified or unqualified, but to serve him faithfully, we have to trust. And that my hope is in that he's making something of what I offer him, even if it is just straw. So, and that's all I have to say about that.
Good job.
Thanks.
We're done.
Let's go.